In the modern world, clear thinking has become an invaluable skill, one that can drastically improve decision-making, reduce errors, and lead to more fulfilling and successful lives. Rolf Dobelli, a Swiss author and businessman, addresses this topic in his book, The Art of Clear Thinking, where he delves deep into the cognitive biases, logical fallacies, and mental traps that often cloud our judgment and reasoning. Dobelli argues that in an age saturated with information, clear thinking is not only an asset, it is essential for making informed, objective decisions that lead to personal growth, better relationships, and success in various aspects of life. The book is structured in a way that explains the most common cognitive biases and logical errors, offering readers strategies and insights on how to avoid them. It also emphasizes the importance of cultivating mental clarity in decision-making, an essential skill for navigating the complexities of both personal and professional life. This book is not just for philosophers or scholars. It is for anyone who seeks to improve their thinking and avoid common mental pitfalls. Dobelli's ability to simplify complex concepts and present them in an engaging manner makes this book a highly accessible guide for those looking to refine their cognitive processes. The core idea: cognitive biases and their impact. At its heart, the art of clear thinking is about understanding how cognitive biases influence our judgment. Dobelli focuses on several key biases that undermine clear thinking and effective decision-making. These biases are essentially systematic patterns of deviation from norm or rationality in judgment, leading us to make irrational choices or misinterpret situations. Dobelli categorizes these biases into several groups and explains them with real-world examples, making it easy for readers to understand how they might be affecting their daily decisions. The availability bias. One of the primary biases discussed in the book is the availability bias, which refers to the tendency to rely on immediate examples that come to mind when evaluating a topic or decision. We tend to overestimate the importance of information that is easily accessible, such as events we have recently experienced or news that we have heard repeatedly. Example: after hearing about a plane crash on the news, you may become overly anxious about flying, even though statistically, flying is one of the safest modes of transportation. Your mind is influenced by the most readily available example, the crash, rather than by statistical reality. Confirmation bias. Another crucial bias Dobelli tackles is confirmation bias, where we have a tendency to search for, interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that confirms our pre-existing beliefs or hypotheses. Example: if you believe that a particular diet is effective, you may only pay attention to articles and studies that support your belief, while ignoring research that contradicts it. This reinforces your existing view without considering alternative perspectives or information. The anchoring effect. The anchoring effect is another cognitive trap Dobelli describes. It occurs when we rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive, the anchor, when making decisions, even if that information is irrelevant or incomplete. Example: when shopping for a car, the initial price you see for a vehicle often acts as an anchor. If the first car you look at is priced at $40,000, you may consider a $35,000 car to be a good deal, even if it's still overpriced for the value it offers. Overconfidence bias. Overconfidence bias refers to the tendency of individuals to believe that they know more than they actually do, or that they are less likely to experience negative outcomes than others. Example: many investors exhibit overconfidence bias when they believe they can pick the next big stock or time the market perfectly. This can lead to poor financial decisions because they overestimate their ability to predict the future. Why we think the way we do, the psychology behind biases. Dobelli emphasizes the psychological factors that contribute to these biases, including emotions, social influences, and evolutionary tendencies. For instance, many of these biases stem from adaptive mechanisms that helped humans survive in a much different environment. However, in today's complex, information-heavy world, these biases often lead to poor decisions. The role of emotions. Emotions can cloud our judgment and lead to irrational decisions. For instance, fear often triggers biases such as availability bias, where we may overestimate the likelihood of a danger because it has been recently exposed to us. For example, media coverage of a terrorist attack. Social influence. Human beings are inherently social creatures, and many of our decisions are influenced by what others think and do. This tendency to conform can result in herding behavior, where people follow the crowd instead of making independent, well-reasoned decisions. Evolutionary psychology. Many of our biases are evolutionary in nature. For instance, humans have evolved to favor immediate rewards over long-term benefits, leading to short-term thinking that can hinder long-term planning and success. How to improve clear thinking. Practical advice. After explaining various biases and their psychological roots, Dobelli shifts his focus to strategies for overcoming these cognitive traps. He offers practical techniques that can help individuals sharpen their thinking and improve their decision-making. Recognizing and avoiding cognitive biases. The first step to improving your thinking is recognizing when biases are at play. By becoming aware of the common biases, you can more effectively catch yourself in the act of being influenced by them. For example, when making a decision, ask yourself, am I relying on anecdotal evidence? Have I considered all the relevant data? Am I overestimating the probability of a certain outcome? Practice critical thinking. Dobelli stresses the importance of critical thinking in counteracting biases. This involves questioning assumptions, weighing evidence carefully, and considering alternative perspectives before making decisions. Critical thinking also involves acknowledging that we don't always have all the answers, and that being open to changing our minds is a sign of strength, not weakness. Focus on the long term. One of the recurring pieces of advice in the book is to focus on long-term goals instead of being swayed by short-term gains or immediate rewards. Delayed gratification is a key principle for successful decision-making, as it enables individuals to make more thoughtful, well-considered choices that are aligned with their long-term objectives. Avoid the influence of others. While social influence can be powerful, it can also lead to poor decisions. Dobelli advises being cautious of groupthink and resisting the temptation to follow the crowd. When making a decision, it's important to consider whether the choice is truly in your best interest or if it's being influenced by the opinions or behaviors of others. Simplify decision-making. Dobelli recommends simplifying the decision-making process by reducing the number of options you consider and cutting out unnecessary information. Decision fatigue can occur when we are presented with too many choices, so by narrowing your focus and sticking to the essentials, you can make better decisions more efficiently. The importance of clear thinking in daily life. Throughout the book, Dobelli illustrates how clear thinking can lead to better outcomes in a variety of areas in life, including career decisions, financial choices, personal relationships, and health habits. He underscores the idea that clarity in thinking is not just an abstract concept, it has real-world implications that can determine the course of your life. In career and business. In the business world, clear thinking can be the difference between a successful venture and a failed one. Leaders who understand and avoid cognitive biases are better at making strategic decisions, handling risk, and leading their teams effectively. In financial decisions, clear thinking helps people avoid making impulsive purchases, falling victim to scams, or making investment decisions based on flawed reasoning. For instance, by avoiding the herding bias, investors can make better decisions and avoid panic selling during market downturns. In personal relationships, cognitive biases can affect how we view others and how we make decisions in relationships. Clear thinking can help us avoid jumping to conclusions, being overly judgmental, or holding grudges based on skewed perceptions. Conclusion: embracing clear thinking for a better life. The Art of Clear Thinking by Rolf Dobelli is an insightful and practical guide to improving one's thinking and decision-making abilities. By addressing common cognitive biases and providing clear strategies for overcoming them, Dobelli gives readers the tools they need to navigate the complexities of modern life with greater confidence and clarity. The key takeaway from this book is that clear thinking is a skill that can be learned and practiced. It is not about becoming perfect in all decision-making processes, but about continuously improving the way we process information and make choices. By applying the principles of clear thinking in everyday life, individuals can achieve better outcomes, avoid unnecessary mistakes, and lead more meaningful lives. Ultimately, Dobelli encourages readers to be more mindful, reflective, and deliberate in their thinking, recognizing that clarity of mind is not only an advantage, it's a necessity in a world filled with distractions and complexity.
Be part of our journey. If you find our content valuable and inspiring, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Your support motivates us to keep going and bring you the best content, so don't forget to leave a like and share the video with those who might benefit.